Being a high school sub teacher is an interesting thing to do. You know, you have experiences that range from almost pure joy to total dismay, but never those extremes when you're subbing for the same teacher all day. In other words, you might get bored if the class is repeated over and over, but the teacher that can inspire those kids and inspire you as a sub to total joy and the excitement of learning and learning things that are new and different doesn't diminish at all for the kids during the day, but get a little boring for you if you have the same thing 5 or 6 times in a row. Well, the other day, we had a period of a week and a half in 2 different schools, a sub for social studies teachers that had world history. And in the one, I was shocked at the brutality of the Russian succession of leaders, including some of the czars. Ooh, awful. But before the czars got control, the Mongols came up on horseback and conquered Russia, made subjects out of them, made them pay a bounty annually. Didn't even have to kill anybody on a lot of those trips. They just had to bluff in so completely that they put their minions in charge and collected the money and would ride in, take the money, and leave. I guess they just killed everybody in sight until they got things their way. Well, that certainly gives you a little different, I guess me, a little bit different view of the Russian mentality. And, you know, Russia's still a concern for this country, I think. Certainly it's a concern for me in terms of the continued success and safety of our country. But the other world history class at a different school was an advanced placement class. The other one maybe was too. I can't remember for sure. But this particular one was an advanced placement class at Cibola. I think maybe the other one was either at Kofa or at Gila Ridge. Good teachers wherever they were. But this one at Cibola, I can't even remember the teacher's name, but all I'm telling you, I know I subbed for a great teacher. And the assignment, when I got there and looked at it, I said, oh man, to myself, this is going to be terrible. Activity, building, each team of 5 students building a temple with 5 pillars, each pillar designed by an individual student and labeled with one of the pillars of faith of the Islam religion. Oh, that means the whole classroom is going to be in an activity, and with a sub, look out. Couldn't have been more wrong. Those kids, the first period, it was a riot, all right, because I didn't really understand what he wanted, and they weren't too sure what he wanted, and they didn't get their pillars in place. I think maybe 2 teams completed their temple. But I learned enough and seeing what was going on then that I could give some hints and make the presentation a little bit more like the teacher would have when I realized what we were trying to do. And the rest of the classes got their temples built just pretty neatly. But the thing that impressed me was those 5 pillars of faith. I can't remember what they all were. It seems to me like maybe there was love and pilgrimage, patience. Whatever they were things right out of the Bible and right out of some of the teachings of the American churches that I've gone to, and I've gone to the Methodist Church, the Disciples of Christ Church. I've visited other churches, Methodist, at some length. It was an education for me. I felt a lot better about those people over there in the Middle East. Those people that worship the Islam religion. It was exciting for me. The kids had a good time, and I think it was a clever way for that teacher to let them really get that embedded in their mind, that these people have a religion that has some 5 pillars of faith that we can identify with. We're not that different. It's a good thing. It was a particularly good thing to have that this past week, and then come up to this thing of an American major who is of that faith committing that terrible, terrible crime down at Fort Hood. But I'll get to that on another occasion. It was great to see that those classes could handle that activity, and they were big classes. I think about 30 kids, give or take. So groups of 5, that's a lot of activity in a classroom. It went well.